There's one simple thing that you can take every day that can completely change your health. It costs less than 50 cents, takes about 10 seconds. It burns belly fat, shuts down sugar cravings. It also protects your heart, all at the same time. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly what it is, why the science behind it is so powerful, and how to use it the right way so you actually see results. Now, believe it or not, when researchers actually took a look at what drives the biggest changes in your health, this one nutrient, this one food, keeps showing up again and again. People taking it lost nearly an inch off of their waist without changing anything else about their diet. It stabilizes your blood sugar between meals, which kills those cravings for sugar that hijack your afternoon. It can lower your LDL cholesterol. It lowers your systolic and diastolic blood pressure. It can cut insulin resistance by as much as 58%, and it triggers GLP-1, the exact same fat-burning hormone that Ozempic targets. And it is a big factor in the #1 predictor of weight loss. So what am I talking about? Psyllium husk. It is a type of fiber that comes from the seed of a plant called Plantago ovata. You might actually recognize it. Psyllium is the active ingredient in Metamucil, one of the best-selling fiber products in American history. It's been around since 1934. Still, most people have no idea what's actually in it or how powerful it is. Researchers studied one of the last hunter-gatherer populations on Earth. It was the Hadza in Tanzania. The tribe eats the way that humans have for thousands of years. Wild fruits, tubers, and roots that come straight from the ground. As a result, they get somewhere between 100 and 150 grams of fiber every single day. And their civilization has almost none of the diseases that we see in the modern world. No obesity, no type 2 diabetes, no heart disease. Now compare that to what's happening here, where those diseases are the norm. Only about 5% of Americans get enough fiber. Most people are consuming around 15 grams per day. That's it. The official recommendation tops out at about 25 to 38 grams per day. So there's a massive gap between what your body expects and what it's actually getting, and then what populations like that are actually doing. Part of the reason for this is because getting significantly more fiber often requires eating an impractical amount of food. To get even 15 grams of fiber from whole foods, you'll have to eat something like 3 to 4 apples or 5 to 6 cups of broccoli every single day. And that's just to hit a number that's already way below what your body was designed for. Most people simply aren't going to do that. And that's where psyllium husk comes in. 1 glass of water with a couple teaspoons of psyllium powder gives you 7 to 10 grams of fiber in less than 10 seconds. You'd have to eat a lot of vegetables to match that. Now coming up, I'm going to reveal just how powerful psyllium is for fat loss, as well as the secret to making it work. But first, we need to bust some myths. A lot of people hear fiber supplement and they immediately think, I tried that before, it was a disaster. Bloating, gas, stomach cramps, and then they walk away thinking that fiber just doesn't work for them. But if that's you, chances are you were eating the wrong kind of fiber. Most fiber supplements and high fiber processed foods use a fiber called inulin. It's cheap to add into products and it's in almost everything. Protein bars, cereals, yogurt, you name it. But inulin is what's called a rapidly fermented fiber. That means when it hits your gut, bacteria breaks it down fast and it produces a lot of gas. And I mean a lot if you're taking a big dose of it. That's what causes the bloating, the cramping, and the discomfort. But psyllium is completely different. It forms a gel instead inside your digestive system, which moves through your system slowly, and it's barely fermented at all. So if you've tried fiber before and it wrecked your stomach, it likely wasn't fiber that was the problem. It was the type of fiber. And that's a really important thing to understand because a lot of people are giving up on something that could have changed their lives, all because they grabbed the wrong product off the shelf. Now, that said, when people first start taking psyllium, some mild bloating can happen in the first few days. But that early bloating is actually a signal that psyllium is doing its job. It's absorbing water, expanding, and your gut is adjusting to something it probably hasn't had enough of in years, maybe your whole life. Now, the key is starting with a small dose and building up gradually. And I'll walk you through exactly how to do it in just a moment. So now that you know what psyllium is and why most people's past experience with fiber was misleading, this is where it gets really exciting because the research behind what this gel does inside your body is honestly hard to believe when you see the numbers. When psyllium forms that gel inside your stomach, it slows everything down. Your food digests slower, sugar enters your bloodstream more gradually, and some of the fat you just ate gets trapped and carried out instead of being absorbed. That's what makes all of its incredible fat loss results possible. A large analysis found that people taking around 10 grams of psyllium a day lost about 4.5 pounds and nearly an inch off of their waist without any other changes to their diet or exercise. But that's not even the most exciting part. That same gel triggers the release of a hormone called GLP-1. You might have heard of it. That's the exact hormone drugs like Ozempic are designed to mimic. Psyllium does this naturally. As that gel moves through your gut, it stretches the walls of your intestine. That stretch is what signals your body to release GLP-1 on its own. And once it's released, your brain gets the message. You're full. Stop eating. That then causes your appetite and cravings to disappear without an expensive prescription. Psyllium husk literally costs less than 50 cents a day. Now, I'm not saying it's the same thing as taking Ozempic. It's not a drug, but it's activating the same pathway, the same hormone, through a completely natural mechanism. And for a lot of people, especially people who can't afford those medications or don't want the side effects, this is a real option that actually works. Now, there's one more layer to this that most people don't realize. The reason cravings are so hard to beat through willpower alone is because they're not just about appetite. They're driven by blood sugar. When your blood sugar spikes and then crashes, your brain reads that crash as a problem that needs to be fixed immediately. That's what sends you that signal looking for something sweet to eat. But because psyllium slows how quickly sugar enters the bloodstream, those spikes are smaller, which means the crashes are smaller. And when the crashes are smaller, the cravings don't hit the same way, nor at the same time. And it also improves how your body responds to insulin. In studies, psyllium reduced insulin resistance by as much as 58%. 58%. That's a big deal because insulin resistance is one of the main reasons people over 50 struggle to lose belly fat and struggle to keep it off even when they're dieting and exercising. When you're insulin resistant, your body keeps pumping out more and more insulin, which tells your body to hold on to fat, especially around your midsection. So bringing insulin resistance down by more than half unlocks fat loss in a way willpower never could. So let's talk about how to actually use psyllium husk. This is where most people fail because they take it the wrong way and they quit before it even starts working. So let me walk you through the right way to do this. It's very important for results: fat loss, cholesterol impact, blood sugar impact. You want to be taking 10 to 15 grams per day. That's about 2 to 3 rounded teaspoons of the powder split across your meals. Most of the research showed real benefits used at least 10 grams. But don't start at the full dose. That's the number one mistake people make. Instead, start with half a teaspoon. That's about 2 to 3 grams once a day. Do that for a few days. Let your gut adjust. Do not rush this. Then bump it up to a full teaspoon each day. After a few more days, add a second full teaspoon. Over about 2 weeks, you will work your way up to 10 to 15 grams, split across 2 to 3 servings. That slow ramp up is how you avoid the bloating, the discomfort. It makes a lot of people quit before they ever get the results. And if you do get the bloating at first, don't panic. Your gut is just adjusting to something that's been missing probably your whole life. That's a sign that you needed this, not a sign that you should stop. Now for timing, take it 30 to 60 minutes before you eat. Effectiveness-wise, this is another very important factor. It gives the gel time to form in your stomach before the food arrives. Most people assume they should take it first thing in the morning, but if you're only going to take it once a day, then take it right before your biggest meal, which is oftentimes dinner. That's because your body handles food worse in the evening. Blood sugar spikes after dinner tend to be the biggest of the day, and that's when your body is most likely to store fat. So having that psyllium gel already sitting in your stomach before your evening meal can make a bigger difference than any other time of the day. Next, when it comes to choosing the right form, powder is the way to go for daily use. It mixes easily, gives you the full dose without the hassle, and it works the fastest. Whole husks are coarse and they absorb liquid more slowly. So if you're traveling, capsules are fine, but most only contain about 500 milligrams each. So to hit a therapeutic dose with capsules alone, you probably have to swallow 20 to 30 of them a day. It's just not realistic for everyday use. Now, the big biggest complaint about psyllium is texture. It gels up fast, and if you don't mix it right, you end up drinking something that feels like a thick paste. You want to use at least 10 ounces of water. Lukewarm can be best. Stir it right away. Don't let it even sit for a minute, and then drink it immediately after mixing it. If you can't stand the texture, mix it into a smoothie, stir it into oatmeal, blend it into juice. Find whatever method that you'll actually stick with, because you need to be consistent if it's going to work. And this next part is extremely important. Every time you take psyllium, drink at least 8 to 10 ounces of water, and then do another full glass of water shortly after you take it. It's because psyllium expands to over 20 times its original size. So if there is not enough water in there, it can actually make things worse instead of better. It's like a sponge. Without water, it just sits there and it hardens. With water, it turns into a soft, slippery gel that moves through you easily. So the water part is not optional. It's part of how psyllium works, and it will dehydrate your body if you don't provide enough water with it, which can create other issues, and it can also create some of the digestive disturbances. Finally, if you're doing intermittent fasting, psyllium has virtually 0 calories. It doesn't trigger an insulin response, so you can take it during your fasting window without breaking your fast. That actually makes it a great tool for getting through the last hours of a fast. Because the gel expands in your stomach, it keeps hunger at bay without spiking anything. So it's a great tool to use with fasting. So psyllium husk, I highly encourage, give it a try, start slow, make sure you get enough water, and watch what happens to your digestive tract and your hunger, curbing your appetite. Huge difference. We're really missing fiber, and this is one of the easiest ways to get it in. Now, if you want even more simple supplements like this, things you can easily drop into your daily routine to speed up fat loss, and you've got to see my next video. Add this to your coffee and lose belly fat 3 times faster. In it, I'll show you exactly what to add and what to avoid in order to turn your morning coffee into a major fat burning tool. I've included a link to that video here. Click to watch it next, and I'll see you there.